King Charles received a huge standing ovation today after making a history with a landmark speech in Paris. Charles became the first British monarch to speak from the French Senate chambers, where he remarked on the close friendship between the UK and France. A guard of honor lined the king's route to the Salle des Conférences, where he met representatives from the Senate and National Assembly and signed the visitor's book before entering the chamber to deliver his address. Speaking partly in French and in English, he referred to global challenges, including climate change, and reflected on his previous visits to the nation, hailing the indispensable relationship between the UK and France. Quite simply, the United Kingdom will always be one of France's closest allies and best friends, he said. He also thanked those gathered for their condolences on the death of the late Queen last year and told them that she loved France. He added, "This morning I read again the deeply touching words of condolence that Your Excellencies, Presidents of the National Assembly and the Senate, wrote at that time." Elsewhere, Queen Camilla joined with First Lady Brigitte Macron to mark the launch of a new UK-France Literary Prize, the Entente Littéraire Prize, at a reception at Bibliothèque Nationale de France, BNF, attended by notable literary figures from both countries. Camilla, who gave a speech partly in French, looked stylish in a white Fiona Clare coat, Chanel shoes and handbag, and a Cartier brooch. The King and Queen later received a warm welcome at Notre Dame as Parisians hung out of a window to greet them. Onlookers in an upstairs flat opposite the cathedral waved and shouted "Vive le Roi," causing the king to crack a smile and wave gleefully back. Their Majesties were accompanied by President and Madame Macron as they met brave firefighters who worked to halt the terrible fire at Notre Dame in April 2019. The king smiled warmly at the firefighters, who joked they were working as quickly as possible to meet Macron's deadline for the reconstruction. Their Majesties then met artisan stonemasons working to repair statues and gargoyles that were damaged during the devastating inferno. King Charles was very engaged and asked detailed questions about the damage to the wooden spires and the stonework. The cathedral has been undergoing restoration works that are not due to be completed until 2024. President Macron committed to rebuilding the cathedral, and over €800 million was privately pledged for reconstruction and renovation works within 24 hours of a global appeal. Last night, the king movingly about his late mother's ties to France as he told of the firm friendship between the nations at a state banquet in Paris. Charles and Queen Camilla were guests of honor at a black-tie dinner hosted by French President Emmanuel Macron in the Palace of Versailles' Hall of Mirrors. High-profile figures invited to the dinner to mark their contribution to UK-France relations, including Rolling Stones frontman Sir Mick Jagger and actor Hugh Grant, were among the 160 guests addressed by Charles and Mr. Macron on Wednesday evening.